Alright, so Battlefront 2 PC Beta is here. What's up, guys? I'm Dimebot. Now, I actually went back and watched my old Battlefront 1 beta impression video, and the reason I did that was because I was sitting there playing this game and feeling very surprised, and I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was, so I went back and watched that old video, and it kind of all makes sense to me now. One of the things that I said near the end of that video was that it looks great, and I don't care because the modes weren't fun and it wasn't engaging. I can't quite say the same thing about this game. Now, this one does also have a single-player campaign, which is huge for me because that was a big gripe I had with the last one, but it's not playable in the beta. However, what is here is actually pretty interesting. So, play a couple matches of the different modes and talk about it, but first let me show you the options menu real quick. So, video, you've got different colorblind profiles. I love this. I always love it when games do this. Brightness, full screen, screen 1 or 2, monitor resolution, refresh rate, dynamic resolution, DirectX 12 on or off, VSync. This right here drives me nuts. Vertical or field of view can't be adjusted. I don't know why. I'm going to turn motion blur off for you guys. It's not too bad in game though. Resolution scale. You can even change the UI from 4K to 1080p, which is cool. HUD scaling, which is nice. And then down here, I've just set everything to ultra, but except for ambient occlusion. Let's go ahead and turn that up. There we go. Anti-aliasing, TAA, FXAA, 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 and TAA. So, not a lot there. They do actually tell you with smooth edges, but they don't tell you what the different types do. You've got options for terrain quality, terrain ground cover, meshes. It's a pretty good menu. I'm not going to complain too much about it. For audio, you have a master volume and music on or off. This is unacceptable. I hate it when games do this. Please give me separate volume sliders for sound effects, music, voice. This is bad. They did this last time too, and it's still unacceptable. Credits, gameplay, EA account. So for gameplay, we can do first-person, third-person soldier cam vibration, which, God, please turn vibration off. Heads-up display, kill log, just lots and lots of options there for gameplay. I'm going to turn the chat log off because I don't want to deal with that on my video. And controls. You can change your key bindings. Yes, you can. You can only do primary key bindings, but oh well. Pretty much everything you would expect here. So this is not a terrible options menu except for audio, which is completely unacceptable and needs to be changed. Alright, so let's get this other bugbear out of the room. The microtransactions. So you can buy crates. You earn them fairly regularly, though. You get a daily one, for example. So let's pop it open. So let's see what I got. I got a weapon for a heavy. I got a crafting part. And I got an ion grenade for my assault. So you can jump over to your characters menu, of which there are quite a lot of characters here. And it'll highlight which ones have stuff for you. So with the assault, I have cards here. I can't upgrade one yet. They unlock at various levels. So I could, let's say, put the ion grenade on. So it automatically detonates near enemies and vehicles, dealing heavy damage to them. Enemy shields. I'm actually going to keep that. This menu is a little clunky. It's not terrible. There we go. For the heavy, I actually don't have anything for them, so I can go ahead and take a look. Barrage. In the barrage configuration, the MPL. Yes, I'll take that. Use your crafting parts to upgrade these various items. You can do this for your ships as well. So, gunships, ground vehicles, interceptor, bomber, fighter. You can do that. So, for example, I have cooling systems on my fighter, my TIE fighter, and my X-Wing. All these are going to let you customize your playstyle just a little bit. I haven't found any of them to be hugely overpowered. Now, of course, you do have challenges and various things you can... Oh, I can claim a reward. There we go. So, different rewards for playing the game. It's just kind of like every other FPS. It's going to hand out things for you continuing to play the game and do different things. So, let's talk about the actual meat of the game. So, campaign is obviously not available. Arcade is where you can actually train against the AI in 2 different modes. I'll show off one of those real quick and we can talk about... the dark side is the only one available. We can talk about the game. So we're going to do Wipe Them Out. You play as Darth Maul, and you get to kill people. Now, you can't do modifiers right now. There's one on Tier 3, last stand, 1 life. Let's hop in and give this a go, shall we? These are nice little ways for you to kind of get good with the game, and also this allows you to play with Darth Maul, which is a hero that you can get in the game, but you may not get all that often as he costs a fair amount of battle points. Excuse me, and we will talk about battle points coming up in a minute, because it is different than the system that was in the old game where you just simply grabbed an icon and went. So let's view his abilities. Q, he throws his lightsaber. E, he chokeholds people, and F, he does a spin attack. Sounds like fun. Let's go kill shit. Now, right away, you're going to notice this game is gorgeous and has an incredible soundtrack. Should be no surprise. The old first game was the exact same way. Now, Darth Maul can do crazy jumpy things. I mean, he is a Sith Lord after all. And this is incredibly satisfying, I'm not going to lie. The abilities are on a nice short cooldown. It's actually really great. Makes you feel like a total badass. And this mode is just all about killing people until you get to the kill limits, or are killed and have to respawn. That's absolutely fantastic. It's a nice power fantasy. Exactly what you would want out of a Star Wars game, really. And there you go, I got killed. Now you see that player damage kill streak and players killed there. Those are battle points, and those will build up, and those are what you can use in regular matches to buy various characters, and basically they're kill streaks, if this were a game called Call of Duty. And we win. That was a little strange. So let's kind of look at that mode. Turn to menu. Thank you. The game plays well in those modes. Third person is actually extremely easy to get into. So, that being said, let's jump into what is arguably the biggest draw for the game, and probably my least favorite mode, actually, Galactic Assault. This is a 40-man mission. It's 20v20, and the one that's in here is going to task you with either assaulting the palace on Naboo or stopping it. And this is similar to the Walker map that they showed us last year in the beta, and I'll talk about why I think it's an okay mode, but why, for me, it's not going to be the thing I really want to play a lot. And then we'll jump into the final mode that's available. There is actually technically another mode. It's just a team deathmatch. It's okay. It's a team deathmatch. So you deploy as a group this time around, and we've got to protect our MTT, which is the giant troop transport. And they have moved more towards a class system this time around, though. I'm the basic assault. I have a... And we joined a game that was close to defeat. That's fine. We'll jump into the next side. The classes have different loadouts, so... Like, the assault has a thermal detonator and a shotgun, and something else that I can't remember. The heavy has a detonation charge, a shield, and a Gatling gun. The officer can throw out a field that'll help buff your teammates, has a pistol... And the specialist, I will have to look at. I actually can't remember. Can actually take a look here. View abilities. Shot grenade, infiltration. You become undetectable, and thermal binoculars. That's what they have. Officer has a battle command. They let you withstand more damage. They can throw down a turret and they have a flashbang. And the heavy, sentry, barrage, and impact grenade. Now these can all be swapped out, of course, but the base loadouts aren't too bad. Let's go ahead and jump on in. As I was going to say, you deploy with a squad, and if you stay with the squad, you'll actually gain bonuses. Now these, stupid turret. the loadouts and the abilities are the same across both classes, or all the classes. They just vary the look. So you either play as the droids here, or you can play as the clone troopers. And they've nailed the look and the feel of it. I mean, they nailed it with the first one. This is a Star Wars game, quite clearly. The droids, they are hilarious. They sound just as ridiculous as they did in Episode 1. There's a good amount of battle chatter to let you know what's going on. The level geometry is great. There's a lot of leaves and stuff flying around, which is pretty, but also a little distracting. It's like somebody has a permanent, like, wind tunnel fan on. Ouch. And there's birds everywhere, which is actually really weird. I'm not sure how I feel about it. There's literally, it's like John Woo invaded this game. Let's go with the heavy real quick. Not going to get a full squad. It's okay. Stay close, we get a bonus. So what we're trying to do here is push up, and you eventually will push towards the palace and go inside. Yeah, there's the doves I was talking about. It's so weird. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I said, the droids are fantastic. Wow, this transport is getting wrecked. Have I joined another game in progress that's going poorly? Matchmaking servers in a beta, folks. Now, I said that this wasn't my favorite mode, and I'll talk about why. It's literally because they have the same problem they did in the old game. Weapons don't feel like they have any punch. They have fixed the stupid aiming problems, but it just... the weapons lack punch. They lack that oomph, that feedback loop that makes guns in other games feel so good. Like, take, for example, Battlefield. I've talked a lot before about punchy, responsive gunplay and how it can really help a game. And the gunplay in this game is responsive, but you don't really feel the punch of the weapon. I mean, I don't know how you model a space laser. We all know what an AK-47 or an M1 Garand is going to feel like because we've played them in a billion other games. But these are weapons that don't actually exist, and they're really weird. They don't feel like they're delivering a lot of punch, and it is kind of an odd disconnect. So I'm not sure if that's something that can be fixed or if it's just endemic to the subject matter of this game, but a lot of the times you will kill somebody and it won't really feel like it. You won't feel that you actually did a huge amount of damage because it's so difficult to connect with the way that the lasers are leaving this gun. It's, I guess, maybe a minor nitpick to some people. For me, it really bothers me a lot. It's not anywhere near as bad in the Starfighter mode, which we will talk about shortly when we jump into that. But first, I'd like to try and show you guys a little bit more of this assault, since we've gotten two kind of crappy matches in a row where we're already losing. So I'll hop in here in just a second. These down here are all your kill streaks. I guess I shouldn't call them kill streaks, but that's really what they are. You can play as a Wookiee, you can play as Rey or Han, you can get various space fighters to fly overhead support, you can have this little walker thingy. Here we go. Load times are nice and snappy, I can't complain about that, and they do a great job of conveying a scale of the battle. Nope, not what I wanted to do. You do have a melee attack. You've got your dodge roll. So what we're trying to do here is get to these ion blasters. these ion disruptors so that we can kill the droids MTT there. Time to kill is also very quick, but as I say again, the feedback on the guns is kind of weird. Let's take a specialist and see what we can do. A little snipey. So we are bound kind of by a respawn limit. You'll see it counting up there in the corner. But yeah, it's an interesting game. This is a cool mode. I like the idea of it. The execution, sometimes it seems a little snowbally, and it's very easy to lose track of enemy droids in the frankly mess that can be this game's or this particular map, with all those stupid leaves flying around and all the doves everywhere. There's a lot of visual noise that I don't feel really adds much to the gameplay. It adds a lot to the visual presentation. Does not add a lot to the gameplay for me. I know you're there. Stick your head out.
The ion weapons are working.
So like I said, we've got to get those ion weapons and shoot the MTT and try to I guess he didn't see that. That's interesting. Ow! Infiltration. Same thing. Alright, I'm terrible with the sniper. Good thing you guys don't come here for the gameplay.
You and me.
We'll go back. Oh, great. I'm an officer with no squad. This will be good. No, there they all are. Let's go, squad. Now, the officer, you have to be a little careful. You've only got a pistol. I do like the... Ow! I do like the class variation. It does make it feel like you're, actually have very different roles. They've done an excellent job with it. Different classes make a difference.
Online.
Go ahead and put a turret down there. You can self-destruct a turret, as the game is telling me right now, which is rather nice.
That's a hit. Got the MTT.
Hi, buddy. I'll come support you. It'll be great. This blaster has an arc to it almost, which is weird considering it's a light speed weapon, but whatever. Alright then.
Enemy has crossed waypoint Alpha. Withdraw to secondary positions.
And now we have to fall back. You can plink away at this thing with your regular gun, but it really doesn't do anything. There is also a little Gears of War-esque reload mechanic there when you overheat your gun. So much the same as the first game. Say they haven't done an incredible deal to improve the weapons, but they no longer have the insane scatter they did, so I guess that kind of counts for something. One thing I like is about the battle points is that they are cumulative. You don't get Ow! They don't get reset every time you die, like, say, a kill streak would in another game. Let's go ahead and hop in a gunship. And I can actually have a squad join me with this thing. So we're just kind of flying around here on a track. This is very akin to a gunship in, say, Call of Duty.
Identified enemy deploying to the field.
And you can repair. We have a heat sink. unfortunately for me, most of the droids are staying in cover, but this gives you a really good overhead look at the battle, and I killed nobody, so that was fantastic. Oh, great, another grenade. Alright, so I think that unless we get into the palace section here, that's probably about enough of that. I will say, in terms of the indoor combat with this many people, it's too tight, it's too hectic. They shouldn't have really tried to do an indoor fight with this many people. Ah, somebody's Boba Fett, how nice. Alright, so let's hop out of this and let's take a look at one of the other modes. I feel that mode is a little too chaotic. It's not something that I would play a lot if I had the game, unless the other maps are extremely well done, like much, much better than that. Just not my thing. There's too much chaos, there's too much going on, which I know is kind of a strange thing to hear somebody say, but it's too chaotic and you can't keep track of where everybody is, and oftentimes you end up being killed out of nowhere by somebody you never had a chance to see because of the pure visual clutter. However, some people are going to love it, and if you do, I'm all for you. I'm happy for you. Go have fun with it. This mode, however, this was missing from the original game, and it's fantastic. The Starfighter mode is really, really interesting, and we're going to jump in and have a look at it. It's much more interesting than the Starfighters and other airships in the ground-based missions. Those don't feel like they really have an impact on the ground war unless somebody manages to crash one. We're going to take an interceptor. All these ships have abilities. This one has an afterburner, a target lock, and concussion missiles. The regular TIE fighter has afterburners, a laser barrage which lets you fire really fast, and a proton torpedo. And the bomber, you may have guessed, has dual proton torpedoes. Yes, it has bombs. It also has multi-missile locks. You can fire at up to 3 targets in front of the player, and it has electronic countermeasures. I like the interceptors. The interceptors are fantastic. We're going to play one. Now, as I said, you can put cards on these. I actually don't have any for the interceptor, unfortunately. Oh, wait, yes I do. I have advanced capacitors. It improves my resistance to overheating. That's fantastic. I'm so ready. As with the other mode, you start it with a squadron. And our objective here is to defend the Star Destroyer. The rebels have to take out various objectives. You can fire your primary weapons with space, not just, or with the left mouse, not just space. So let's get over there and kill them. And they have absolutely nailed this. They took out the loop-de-loop button that just lets you instantly turn a fight around and have actually made you fly the ship, and it's great. The mouse targeting is nice. And you don't die quite as quick in this. I'm going to go ahead and get back into space. I will endeavor to show you guys one of each ship, but I love my interceptors so much. It's the X-Wing, the A-Wing, and the Y-Wing, respectively, for fighter, interceptor, and bomber on the other side. All of them are a blast to fly. They all feel like you would expect them to. And all of them can do a pretty significant amount of damage. Your weapons, as I said, they will overheat. And it's just a giant chaotic battle fight, or battle in space. It looks amazing. The dogfighting is fun. The objectives are interesting for both sides. You have to constantly be on the lookout for things like the Y-Wing bombers coming in. And there are lots of objectives for both sides. Lots of flying in and around structures in true Star Wars fashion. Lots of watching out for things you can run into. It's good fun. Lost him, damn it. Let's talk about the game's performance just a little bit. It runs on my system with the 1080. Absolutely fantastic. Haven't had a bit of trouble with it. It looks great. Frame rate's nice and steady. Ooh, that was a missile lock. Alright, so up to 300. Let's grab a bomber real quick and see if we can make some short work of that Corvette, shall we? So, this, if I was going to get this game, and I may well get it, this is absolutely what I would get it for. This mode is fantastic, and hopefully the story is as good as they say it's going to be, but this is honestly where it's at. We're going to be able to take this cruiser down pretty easily, or this Corvette, rather. The battle chatter is also absolutely fantastic, as you can hear.
That rebel blockade runner is in critical condition.
Come on. Go. Oh, so close. We're going to go back and take him out in the TIE fighter. So yeah, for somebody like me, this is the mode that I was waiting for. I do wish that it was more fully connected with the ground battles, but honestly, when it's this good, I'll pretty much take what I can get. Oh, the Millennium Falcon. I'm not quite sure this guy knows I'm here. He's making a run on the shield generator, and unfortunately, he missed. Sucks for him. Flying in the cockpit is neat. I wouldn't recommend doing it, though. It cuts off a lot of visibility. That'll take care of him. This is definitely the mode for those of you that have always wanted more space combat in your old Battlefront. If I had one complaint with this mode, I'd say that maybe with the way the targeting reticle works, it's a bit too easy to snipe somebody from a long ways away if you know what you're doing and you're good with your aiming reticle. But there's really nothing that's gonna beat that feeling. Let's see if we can... Nope, still need some more points. We're gonna jump back into an interceptor here. I want to show you guys one more ship, maybe Slave 1 before we go, and we ought to be able to get that many battle points here pretty quickly. This fight could get pretty hectic. There's a lot of objectives on both sides. And I really love to show off that bloom lighting there. This massive installation, this space station, is also fantastic. Well, that takes care of that rebel. Oh, rebel scum, taking down our shield generators. The point rewards, or point requirements for the battle point items aren't that bad. So, you know, in the same way that I've never felt compelled to try and buy one of their loot chests, I've never felt that I was being, damn it, really? Being unfairly kept from getting a reward because they are cumulative. Can't believe I ran into that. What a scrub move. So, what are my overall impressions of this game so far? I like the arcade mode where you can battle just, 16 players, regular style team deathmatch. I think that's fun. Obviously, I really love this mode. And I think that some people are going to absolutely adore the other Galactic Conquest mode. It's just not for me. That's not to say that it's not a bad mode. It's just not something that caught my attention. It's too much chaos. Like I say, some people are going to thrive on that. They're going to love it. So, kudos to them. Why are my lasers not connecting there? That was weird. It's just not for everybody. We can almost fly Slave 1. I think we'll be able to get that before the end. We'll have to see how the campaign is. I like the idea of the challenge mode. Now, this game is launching with less modes than the original Battlefield, or Battlefront. But a lot of the modes that were in the original Battlefront, they weren't that good. So if they've gotten just a few in here that are better, that can only be for the better. Wow, that was a very poorly thought out sentence, but the point stands that if they have modes in here that are more well fleshed out than the ones that were included in the previous iteration, then I'm okay with less of them. If I run into one more thing, I swear to God, I'm terrible. Alright, but we can almost fly Slave 1. We will end the video on Slave 1. Mark my words. So the game has another few weeks till release. I don't see that they need to really bake in a lot more features. The sound is great, as it was in the last one. The video, the graphics, they're great. They really capture the Star Wars feel and experience. There's literally nothing to complain about there. That'll take care of the Millennium Falcon. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to find who's shooting you, but the on-screen indicators are generally pretty good. So now we have to protect these couplings. The feeling of flying in and around all these objects is fantastic. Nailed it. Where are you at? Alright, you know what? Let's get Slave 1 real quick. Yes, I did just suicide on purpose. No, somebody else has it. Oh, that's frustrating. What a jerk. Taking Slave 1 when I was about to... Oh, there's a rebel capital ship. You can attack turrets and things on it. And you can also get the crap shot out of you like that. I want to fly Slave 1. This is not okay. Damn you, person. Well, we might as well stop the Y-Wings. So yeah, thinking about picking this up, you can probably safely know that you can grab it and like it if you like what you see here. If you're a fan of the original game's multiplayer, they've really only iterated on it to make it better. Nothing to really complain about there. It runs extremely well. And most of it is just plain a lot of fun. Your mileage is going to vary based on what mode you like, but that's pretty much in the game. Come here, you. Alright, I really want to fly Slave 1, so is that going to happen or not, game? I don't even see him around here. Now we have to protect the couplings. Great. Okay, so, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get to show you guys Slave 1, but it's just been a quick look at the multiplayer PC beta, the open beta. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button. It helps out more than you know. Subscribe. That also helps out. And if you really like what you're seeing, hit up the Patreon. My name is Dimebot. I'll see you guys later.